If you want to know the truth, as if perhaps you don't know it, for all of these past few years, we've been hearing negative information about politics, negative information about religion, and negative outcome in life for so many. And yet, things so good for many. And you got people talking about solutions to it. You know how they go, as I speak on it this Sunday morning. Solutions, solutions, solutions. None of these solutions bring satisfaction to the masses. And so you sit and you think, as a social scientist, as a spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, feeling all people as you feel yourself and transcending that into a statement of conduct towards one another. And it bring me to the conclusion that there's a power beyond all of us I call God. And a way that I can see God, who has put this earth and the resource and all of us together, I see it as fantastic great. And anything that I see that would destroy that or tear that down, I don't see that as so great. I see that as being anti-God, anti what is best, because what is best works for us all. And when I think about how is it that we find ourselves in the situation still today, all of our existence, even from the hand-me-down, and I think about what they said in the Bible. They said something about the Garden of Eden, that God had made it expressly clear to Adam and Eve about this world and what it was, what it opened to them, what it had to offer them. And also gave them the results of not listening, not being obedient to the truth, and not being obedient to the act of love and compassion and empathy. Gave us that. And so I can see it when we talk about a voice, a snake, whatever you want to call it, doubt coming to Adam and Eve saying, what are you afraid of? I'm just paraphrasing now. What are you afraid of? You heard you would die? You will not surely die. Now that's what you heard. But what that meant in today's language, what that meant in today's understanding, replicable all over the earth, is this. You are better than they are. You deserve better than they. You deserve more. This is a whole practice of this deceptive thing to take control over that which God has created. God has created this way for us to live on earth as though we're in heaven. But this one comes along and says, no, you will be rewarded if you listen to me. And then, in order to get this carried forward, you end up having to lie, to cheat, to steal, because this is what you're doing to one another. This is what this evilness is teaching you how to be. And then, in order to be rewarded, you got to put these practices of lying and cheating and stealing that you've been taught into practice. So you end up creating a system that permits you to take, to steal, to take, to kill, to own, to possess even these things that people need. And then create a system that allows them to get as you would allow them to get from it by utilizing them to do something more for you that they don't even know anything about. So you're paying them some money to do the work that you need done, to do the greater things that you are doing, while they are basically doing what they're supposed to be doing all the time, fixing, creating for themselves everything that they need, want, or desire. But you have usurped it by lying. That's the same way we saw in America this year. We saw all of the lies told by one particular party, Republican Party. We saw everybody was buying into those lies. They knew they were lies because they called them alternative truths. Alternative truth means not the truth, but it's a different. Well, it's not your truth, but it's their truth, and they're going to push it. The difference, ladies and gentlemen, is that it caused pain and suffering. It's caused them that guide them that don't. It creates crime and violence. It creates all of these negative things that we have toward one another, hatred, racism, all of that comes from what we as people have done. Now we talk about what's going on the TV now that Donald Trump has won the presidency. People are talking about what went wrong, what you got to do, different strategies that you got to use. What you do over here in Pennsylvania, probably not the same thing that you do in North Carolina. We got all these different people giving their views on this and on that, what they should have done. And my friends, I guarantee you, everything that you're talking about done, should do, has been done. And none of that stuff has ever worked. But one thing that hasn't been done, and that's